You seem to be quite beyond yourself, he said sharply. I think the only thing I can do is telephone your father. Patrick stopped laughing instantly. Ah, that's better, said Mr. Johnson. Now, who did you say had stabbed Omri? Patrick stood rigid like a soldier at attention. He didn't look at Omri. He just stared straight at Mr. Johnson. I want the truth, Patrick, and I want it now. Little Bear, said Patrick very clearly and much louder than necessary. Little who? Bear. Mr. Johnson looked blank as well he might. Is that somebody's nickname, or is this your idea of a joke? Patrick gave his head one stiff shake. Omri was staring at him as if paralyzed. Was he going to tell? He knew Patrick was afraid of his father. Patrick, I shall ask you once more. Who is this? Little Bear? Patrick opened his mouth. Omri clenched his teeth. He was helpless. Patrick said, He's an Indian. A what? Asked Mr. Johnson. His voice was very quiet now. He didn't sound annoyed anymore. An Indian. Mr. Johnson looked at him steadily for some seconds, his chin resting on his hand. You are too old to tell those sort of lies, he said quietly. It's not a lie, Patrick shouted suddenly, making both Omri and Mr. Johnson jump. It's not a lie. He's a real live American Indian. To Omri's utter horror, he saw that Patrick was beginning to cry. Mr. Johnson saw it too. He was not an unkind man. No headmaster's much good if he can't scare the wits out of children when necessary. But Mr. Johnson didn't enjoy making them cry. Now then, Patrick, none of that, he said gruffly, but Patrick misunderstood. He thought he was still saying he didn't believe him. He now said the words Omri had been dreading most. It's true, and I can prove it, and his hand went in his pocket. Omri did the only thing possible. He jumped at him and knocked him over. He sat on his chest and pinned his hands to the ground. You dare, you dare, you dare, he grounded out between clenched teeth before Mr. Johnson managed to drag him off. Get out of the room, he roared. I won't, Omri choked out. He'd be crying himself in a minute. He felt so desperate. Out! Omri felt his collar seized. He was almost hiked off his feet. The next thing he knew, he was outside the door and hearing the key turning. Without stopping to think, Omri hurled himself against the door, kicking and banging with his fists. Don't show him, Patrick. Don't show him. Patrick, don't. I'll kill you if you show him, he screamed at the top of his lungs. Footsteps came running. Through his tears in a sort of red haze, Omri saw Mrs. Hunt, the headmaster's elderly secretary, bearing down on him. He got in a couple more good kicks and shots before she got a hold of him and, with both arms around his waist, carried him, shrieking and struggling bodily, into her own little office. The minute she put him down, he tried to bolt, but she hung on. Omri, Omri, stop it. Calm down. Whatever's come over you, you naughty boy. Please don't let him. Go in and stop him, Omri cried. Who? What? Before Omri could explain, he heard the sound of footsteps from the next room. Suddenly, Mr. Johnson appeared, holding Patrick by the elbow. The headmaster's face was dead white, and his mouth was partly open. Patrick's head was hung down, and his shoulders were heaving with sobs. One look at them told Omri the worst Patrick had shown him.